We here? Yeah, yeah. I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. It's little Kenny Russell, Canoom, Consul of Moon. You already know what you're gonna give me. Step in this room, you're now dealing with Canoom. Yeah, yeah, I'm here. And while I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear. Yeah, yeah. Now, welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is another episode of My Thoughts, and as the title states, this is Jesus on My Thoughts 313. Today, I'm going to show you some contrasting beliefs, some contrasting ideology, some contrasting doctrine, some contrasting philosophy, contrasting teachings, and some contrasting ways of life. Okay. Now, people that believe that this Jesus the Christ is God, Jehovah, Messiah, Yehovah, Yehuda, Yewiki, Yeshua, all this nonsense. I'm going to show you that the principal belief about this God of the Bible, the Torah, and all this type of stuff named Jesus the Christ is that he continues to be the same. He was always God from the inception or the conception, and he was God all the way till he got hung up on that cross. Okay. I'm going to be discussing and dealing with that with you today. I'm going to be brief because it's Friday. I want you guys to enjoy your weekend. I took a bit of a hiatus. I've been traveling. I've been doing things with my family. I've been studying. I've been researching. And the show must continue. Okay. I've been dropping a lot of short clips, humorous, funny videos because when I'm here in this form before you making these videos, it's not so humorous for people who still stuck in one of the three major Western religions. And it affects people that look like me and people all across the world with these vicious lies. And I'm attempting to just bring light and clarity to some of the confusion. Okay. I've always said the Bible is a book that one has to believe in. Without your belief, nothing in the Bible is real. And the Bible agrees with me, but we'll discuss that on some later shows. So that's me giving an account of myself for my absence. I apologize. Let's get straight to it. We're going to hear from the ancestors.
There's one thing you have to get through your mind and keep it. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said there's no exception.
There's no exception, okay? Whatever has come from the European mind was meant to facilitate European domination, power, and control. Before he give that up, he will blow the world up. You see, let's continue. And I'm going to show you now what I'm speaking about. In the Old Testament, they had laws, customs, rituals, a different type of doctrine. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, fracture for a fracture, break for a break, murder for murder, death for death, rape for rape. You get it. If Jesus the Christ, who was already God all the way in the Old Testament, he knows these customs, rituals, and all this type of stuff because he put it forth before he was even born. Okay. Before he came to the world in human flesh, he had already had this going on. He was the Yahweh and the Jehovah and all that at that time. Okay. So it's no way that he should not be on the same accord as the Old Testament scriptures when you get to the New Testament. It's no way. If you're God in the beginning, if he was God in Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Genesis, and Deuteronomy and all that type of stuff, he was this God in Revelation. He was always there. I'm going to show you that that's a fallacy and it's false. Let's look at some things, okay? You can screenshot this and you can do with it as you please. I'm just bringing you the information. I don't hate anyone who's still in religion. I don't hate anyone who's outside of religion, nor do I love them more, okay? You have to have knowledge if you want to get rid of a lot of this stuff. See, without knowledge, they can just keep running this nonsense on you time and time and time again, and nothing will change. It's time to stop all that. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Some of the base teaching and fundamental teachings of the Old Testament. And Jesus was already God. He just didn't come in his carnal self yet to appear to many in human being flesh. He didn't do that yet. That's a trick that he was going to do 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years later. Okay, but let's look at this. Exodus 21, 23 to 25 reads this. But if there is harm, then you shall pay life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. Meaning, whatever someone does to you, you do the exact same goddamn thing to them. Okay? That's the way it was. A man kick you in your nuts, you get your foot out and you kick him in his nuts. You see? That's the way it was. It was no wrestling or nothing. This is not something that wasn't going on. This was the key underlying principle and law, and this was of that time. You see, that the climate that they lived in back then. This was that time, and it was only one God. This is Jesus saying all this. He just wasn't born, and he wasn't going by their name yet. Let's continue. If you turn to Leviticus, okay. Leviticus 24, 19 through 20. This is all about retaliation and what you can do to get your lick back. That's the way the young people say it now. Get your lick back. You see, this is revenge. Let's continue. Leviticus 24, 19 and 20 says, and if a man, it's smaller over here, cause a blemish in his neighbor. This is the way it was with neighbors. If your neighbor break your door down, you break his down. Okay. As he hath done, so shall it be done to him. Breach for breach, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. As he hath caused a blemish in a man, so shall it. So again, from Exodus to Leviticus, and this is all through the Old Testament, this was the way it was. This was the law and the chief understanding that what someone does to you, you do it to them. Okay. And Jesus was already God. He was Yahweh, Yeshua, Yahuwah, Moshe, all this nonsense. This was all, he was all there. He just didn't come in his flesh. Okay. Until thousands of years later. But I'm telling you that that's hogwash, nonsense. Let's listen to this. This is Jesus' teachings now. Okay. Now this is Matthew 5, 38 through 39. So this is the New Testament now. Jesus is in his carnal body. He's in his human being flesh. He came to the world to die and save you. But right here, he's teaching. This is him in his life. Okay. Listen to what he said, because he's the author of all this. And it says God and all this is not the author of confusion, but it is. And he is. So that's a lie. A person will be confused if you say, hey, if someone hits you, hit them back. And then you get on down the line and you change your mind. You're confusing me. What's the law? What's the underlying understanding? Let's see. You've heard that was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. See, when it said you've heard that it was said, he's quoting his own self from the older testaments. He just wasn't in the flesh and born yet. But this is all God. This is God talking. Okay. So you heard about eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. But see, now this God has changed his mind. It said God is not a man that he should repent nor change his mind. Bull crap. He's doing it here. But I tell you not to resist an evil person. If an evil person come on to you, you say, come on in. I welcome you. Do your evil. See, you don't do evil back to them like I just forementioned. Okay, let's continue. But I tell you to resist an evil person. But whoever slaps you on your right cheek, if a person slaps you on your right cheek, this is my right, your left. If you're looking at it, I'm sure. Whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn the other cheek to him also. That's confusing to me. You see, that's contradicting. That's very confusing. So when I slap you on the right side, pow, you give me the other cheek. You say, hey, slap that one too. Get your good slap on that side. So either this Lord has had amnesia, confusion, something's wrong with, he has multiple personality disorder. He's forgetful. He either changed his mind, which God can't change his mind. Say God is not a man that he should change his mind or repent. Or these are two separate gods. You can do with this information as you please. I'm just bringing it to you and letting you understand. If you're confused by a lot of this stuff, the best thing to do is get it out of your life. The Bible is a book that one has to believe in. Without your belief, none of it is real anyway. You can't show me one Bible character. You can't show them, you can't put them before the world and say, hey, this was Moses. This was Jericho. This was Bathsheba. This is David. Not one single person out of the Bible has been brought to the world. Just clues. Here goes a shoe. We found David's shoe. This is the house they said David lived in. This is the kingdom. This is David's kingdom. This is Jesus' a burial garment, the shroud of Turin, which is a lie. And we'll get to that on some later discussions as well. Okay. So I just wanted to bring you that information. It's a bold-faced lie. Okay. And I'm going to leave you with a little bit of philosophy from Machiavelli, not Tupac, the actual Machiavelli, the philosopher. Okay. Machiavelli once wrote, he who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. So if you want people to obey you, you must know how to command. Now, if you command in one thing and from the outset, hey man, we retaliate. We practice revenge. If a person knock your tooth out, you knock his out. And years later, you come into something else. You say, hey, if a man slap you, you turn around and let him slap you on the other side of your face as well. Then it goes a little further in that same verse in Matthew. If a man sues you for your cloak, you turn around and give him your tunic. So if he sue you for your drawers, you turn around and give him the pants. You say, hey, man, you sued the drawers off my ass. Here go the pants too. You might as well take that too. It's a little Kenny Russell, Kanoon, Consort Moon. You already know what you're going to get. You step in this room, you're now dealing with Kanoon. Enjoy your guys' weekend. Be back at it. If you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe because it won't cost you a fee. Education and preparation is the first step to retaliation. So before you pick up a weapon or a silly religion, pick up some knowledge. Okay? I'll see you guys next week. And if anybody's offended by anything you heard, I mean every word, yeah.